don't think about how we feel as much as we think about numbers. Hey guys, it's Karen V, and in today's video, I will be going over my body recomposition plan as well as my 6-week body recomposition results. My initial video in this body recomp series covered how I had my initial body composition read using the InBody analyzer at FieldHouse Gym in Berkeley Heights, New Jersey. So I'll link that video above and below so you can check that out. Now let's dive right into this with registered dietitian Tara. So here we are at the FieldHouse again, and I'm with Tara. And what she's going to do is she's going to assess my progress. I'm going to share with her and with you guys exactly what I've been doing for the past 6 weeks. And I want her opinion on if she thinks it's a good approach, if we need to tweak anything depending on my goals and how things are going. And that's pretty much it. I planned this out for myself. I decided to count my macros and my calories. It's something that I don't mind doing. It doesn't bother me. I don't think it's the right approach for everyone desiring to reach their goals. Everyone's different, but I'm very comfortable counting my macros. So I decided to put myself at about 1,800 calories a day, which for me I feel is a very good number because I'm not hungry on 1,800 calories a day. Sometimes I actually eat a little bit more. You will never catch me under eating. I will always maybe eat a little more than I should, not under. And then I did break down my macros. Since my goal is to maintain or gain lean muscle mass and shed body fat, I did break this down, and the most important thing for me is to make sure I'm getting the protein in, because that's what's going to support muscle growth or muscle maintenance. So I set my protein at 135 grams a day, which is just about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I am a little over 135. I'm around that 140 mark. And then I just kind of let my carbs and fat fall where they fall. I use my Fitness Pal, so after I eat each meal, I enter it in and I can see where I'm at for the day. I can see like, oh, I really need to step up my protein at dinner because I didn't get enough during the day or stuff like that. Yeah, so my focus has been really on the protein and the calories. Carbs and fat are falling where they fall. And as for my workouts, I did set myself up on a schedule that I would be lifting weights. I believe I put myself on a 4-day-a-week lifting schedule. When I lift, instead of resting in between sets, I have a Reebok step, and I will do 1 minute of step aerobics in between, because literally that is all I have access to. I don't have any cardio equipment. I'm in a small home. I have nothing but a Reebok step. So I do that in between just to kind of like get that cardio in and keep up the calorie burn. And I don't know, I just feel like it's a good use of my time when I'm resting. Okay. And then I also take as many daily walks as possible. I know it's nothing crazy intense, but by the end of my walks, my legs feel very used. I would say my walks are on average 30 minutes, sometimes a little less, sometimes more, depending on the time I have. I'm a mom, my husband and I have opposite work schedules. I'm just doing what I can. And as for time of day with workouts, I started off gung-ho in the beginning, as everyone does when they start something. And I was lifting and doing cardio before work, before getting the kids ready for school. And I slowly got really exhausted of that. So what I've been doing is I've been trying to honor my body and my feelings, and you know, when am I tired, when do I have energy? So I've decided to do the daily walks first thing in the morning. And I will lift later in the day. I'm home with my kids. They're old enough to understand and take care of themselves for 30 minutes, you know. I'm there if they need me, but I tell them, Mommy's lifting weights right now. And sometimes they get involved, and it's fun, and it's setting a good example. So I tend to split my workouts up. That's what I've been doing. Now, can you reveal to everyone my results?
Absolutely, I'd be honored. Week 1 at the FieldHouse, you weighed in at 145.5 pounds with a body fat percentage of 24.8% and 60.2 pounds of muscle. And so today is 6 weeks later, and your weight is 143.3 pounds. Body fat is 22.6, and skeletal muscle mass is 61.3.
All right, so I have gone down 2.2 pounds, just body weight.
Yes.
We've gone down 2.2 pounds in 6 weeks, and I know that doesn't sound like a lot to people. I think people want to lose 2 pounds a week. Right? And that's why I make these videos, because I really want people to understand patience is key. And of course, starting points have a lot to do with it too. Body fat went down 2.2%. We went down in body fat. That's like amazing.
Yes. And that is something I think people might not realize if they are on a weight loss journey, that they may not see huge differences in the weight alone, but if they don't have the access to see body fat changes, they may, be a little discouraged or upset with their progress. But in reality, 2.2% change in body fat is pretty significant for a 6-week period. That's, difficult to do and continue over time. So I think being able to kind of read into the numbers and learn more and see more data can be helpful, because just the weight number does not tell us everything, and it might mislead someone or lead them to be discouraged.
Yeah, totally. And to talk about that, I've been weighing myself at home weekly, and I lost weight every Friday, but then today it went up. And I'm a human. I naturally was disappointed.
Sure.
Even knowing what I know, I was like, oh, that stinks.
Bummer.
But after I thought about it, I was glad that it happened, because that's life. Life happens. And what happened to me in the last 2 weeks is that I was not feeling well. And I was constantly going to the doctor and trying to figure out what's going on. Turned out it was allergies, but I chose to listen to my body, lift a little less, rest a little more, but I wasn't sleeping well because I was coughing every night. So I was lacking sleep and feeling stressed and craving carbs. And I did indulge a few times in some carb-rich moments that I never do regularly. So, but that's life.
Yes.
And I want people to understand life is going to happen.
Yes.
And it's how we work around them. So I'm not giving up.
No.
It's just a little blip.
Yep.
Right?
Yes. I think to your point on feeling sick, feeling not your best, not 100%, it's definitely important to listen to your body. And sometimes, taking more rest can be beneficial in the long run. If, like you said, someone's very gung-ho at the beginning of their program, they may feel pretty run down and sore after a few weeks of that new routine.
Yeah.
So maybe a short rest, where you still are active, you were walking, you were doing other things, maybe not as much weight training, but you were still moving, but at a lesser intensity, can have benefit, because then you're able to kind of, all right, get back on track and starting to feel better, let's do this, and you can kind of rebound. So blips happen. Life throws us many things. And so being able to rebound from that blip and get back on your routine and schedule and regular eating habits is what counts, more than dwelling on, I didn't do XYZ that I usually do. So trying not to put yourself down, but just rebound.
Right. Exactly. I have a couple specific questions for you. Okay. My first question is, I keep a log. Here, I'll show you guys. All right, so I have a log here where I keep, track of my macros, and I like it written down on paper, so I have like a overall glance at everything. What I've noticed is that I tend to eat high in the fat grams.
Okay.
I'm eating a lot of fat grams. I am surpassing the 60 grams of fat almost every single day. Sometimes it's like 80 or 90. And my question to you is this bad for me? Is this bad for my health? I'm staying around my calorie range, but my fat grams are high.
Yeah.
Is this bad?
So her goal for fat grams is about 60, and like she said, she's sometimes 70, 80, 90 on certain days. And so for fat, what I think is most important is looking at the type of fat you're eating. And I think we've talked about before, it's nut butters, nuts, avocado, those types of fats in your diet, which are unsaturated fat and are heart healthy. So it's tricky because those foods have a small serving size.
Right.
2 tablespoons of nut butter unfortunately is not that much.
Right, and then I feel like by the end of the day, I'm like, but I wanted avocado with my dinner.
Yeah.
But that's like so high in fat. So if I'm staying in my calorie range, let's talk, aesthetic goals first.
Yeah.
If I'm staying within my calories and my fat grams tend to go higher than I had set them at, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. In terms of health goals, if I'm exceeding my allotment of fat grams that I set for myself, but I'm eating them all in healthy fat grams, because I am.
Yeah.
I avoid all the nasty stuff, okay? Is that okay?
Yes. If you have high cholesterol or any sort of lab work that might indicate you need to be more aware of fats,
Okay.
that would maybe be an instance where you want to take a closer look.
Okay.
But as long as they're coming from healthy sources, you're watching the serving size, then it's okay. If your other macros are falling in line so that your calories are where you want them to be,
Okay.
it should be all good.
Okay. Okay. My next question is, how long do you feel I should be following my same plan that I came up with?
These macros.
Yeah, like these macros, like, should I just be doing this until I hit my goal and then keep doing it after I hit my goal? I just sometimes wonder if I should be changing my method. And we can talk about nutrition first, and then we can touch upon fitness as well.
Yeah. So you can play around with some of these macro targets if you feel like you are maybe not seeing as much progress maybe as quickly as you were hoping. And we're all an experiment of one. So if you wanted to tweak some of these goals and follow them for another 2-4 weeks, see if you see any differences or any differences in how you feel, your energy levels, things like that, that can be a little tweak in your experiment to see what you might change. And so for you, it might be, okay, so maybe keep your fat grams the same target, but try to do a better job of meeting that.
Yeah.
And then make up, those calories that you might still have left with protein.
In the protein.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm falling short a little bit of my protein goal. But I want to tell all you guys that are watching as well, I am doing better now than I used to.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
another win.
That's a win.
Yeah.
But moving forward, I think what helps me also is making sure I have the proper foods in my kitchen.
Yes. Yep.
This past week, I was struggling.
Yeah.
We didn't make it to the store. I was like, I don't have my proteins.
Yeah.
And that matters.
Definitely.
So key is having the protein on hand. That's key for me.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that whether or not you change anything is up to you, but you could just make a small change or try to be a little more adherent to the goals you've already set, just to see if that makes a difference in your progress. But I don't think you need to really, I think the calorie limit is good. If you wanted to just work on hitting those targets a little closer, see how that affects your progress, and then kind of go from there. But you don't need to do anything drastic.
Right. So the goals are good. It's the adherence. I think, we need to bring the fat down a little bit, bring the protein up a little bit, and
see how that works.
No stress, just try to do better with that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So in terms of my fitness routine, what I'm doing is the 4 days of weight training.
Right.
The first day I do chest and triceps. The second day I do legs. The third day I do back and biceps.
Great.
The fourth day I do shoulders and a little bit of abs if I feel like it.
Okay.
So that's my weight training split.
Okay.
And I am doing progressive overload. So for the most part, I am doing the same exercises every workout, logging the weights and the reps. And every time I do this, I make sure I'm either increasing the weight a little bit or increasing the reps a little bit. And I want my reps to be, I'm so used to doing high reps.
Yeah.
I think that we've been, I don't know, I feel like I've been infused with this whole like high reps to be lean and low reps to bulk. It's not really right. So I'm getting more comfortable with if I'm only lifting a weight 8 times, 10 times, that's okay.
Yeah.
That will help me build that muscle.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be afraid to put muscle on.
Right, that's your goal.
I want to put the muscle on.
Yes.
What is your take on fatiguing the muscles in the single digits, like 8 reps.
Yeah.
I don't know, I want to make sure that that's okay,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not doing 20 reps like I used to.
Yeah. So I love a couple of things you mentioned here. So doing the same exercises week to week.
Okay.
You know, I think a lot of people think that they need to do something different every time they go to the gym or every time they work out, if it's at home or wherever they're able to do it. But being able to kind of stick to the basics and repeat the same fundamental movements and then change the weight or the amount of sets that you're doing, that is how you can see progress. And so, I mean, if you get tired of the same shoulder exercise every week, you know, maybe after 3-4 weeks, you pick a different shoulder exercise to do and stick with that for another 3-4 week cycle. But sticking to the basics, although it might seem repetitive, is the way to go.
Yeah, you kind of can't go wrong. It's not like my body's gonna, it's still working, and I'm still overloading it.
Right, and then you can see the progress you're making. If you do a different exercise every single time you work out, how do you know that you're improving at that exercise if you don't go back to it? And so the rep range too, a lower rep range is fine. Just being sure that you are choosing a weight that is challenging, so that that last maybe 8th or 10th rep is challenging. You know, you don't want that last one to be just as easy as the first one.
Right.
So if you're able to have weights that you can increase, that's going to be key too.
Okay. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because I've had this lapse in lifting.
Right.
Kind of rejuvenate and just keep doing what I'm doing. But yeah, I do want to introduce some new exercises soon, you know, because I started very basic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I mean, just like doing different things, if you are, you know, going from a seated position to a lying position on your bench, you know, just slight differences in exercises. You're still working the same muscle group, but it's more exciting for you. You're not doing the same exact thing.
Right.
You know, you don't have to become a zombie when you go to work out.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think people get bored when they work
Sure.
out, you know, and I think that's why they're always jumping from one thing to the next. But for me, I actually really like lifting weights.
Me too.
Cool. But some people might not like that, and that, you know, that's, you know, when you're dealing with other people, you tackle their goals. But for me personally, I enjoy walking and weight training.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do, because I know I'm going to be consistent. Yes. Do you think consistency is what makes or breaks people reaching their goals?
Yes. Consistency and adherence. If you have a plan that you are enjoying and that is realistic for you to follow, then that is what will help you. If you are given a plan that is from left field and it's boring to you and it's intimidating and maybe you can follow it for a week, but then it's not practical, what have you done? You know, so being able to adhere to it, enjoy it, be consistent is what will help people reach their goals.
Yeah, consistency.
Yeah, and patience.
And patience.
Yes.
And patience, that's right. It's a lifelong journey. That's what I like to tell people, is that, like, I don't really intend for there to ever be an end.
Yeah.
Like, I might come up with a number in my head that I'm like, ooh, it would be really cool to be, whatever, 18% body fat, whatever it may be. But, like, there's no end. I may reach that goal, but I'm not going to, like, stop working.
Right.
You know, maybe my goals will change.
I think having goals that don't always center around numbers is important too, because you can have a goal of, hey, I want to be able to do a handstand or you know, pull-ups, you know, and those goals are fantastic because you have to put in the work to achieve them, but then you have this feat to show for it. Hey, look, I'm going to do a handstand, you know, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Or be able to knock out some pull-ups, like at the park with your kids. Like, how badass. You know,
I
so
know.
focusing on
I
a goal.
can't do that yet, but
focusing on a goal like that has nothing to do with numbers can sometimes be a refreshing break. Not to say that you don't do this, because this is excellent too.
Yes.
But for some people, focusing on a feat or something totally different from what they have been doing can be a refreshing break.
I'm so glad you said that. I really, really am, because I've moved into that place as well. I mean, I would like to do pull-ups one day. I am nowhere near being able to do a pull-up.
Yeah, it can happen.
It can. But I feel so good. I feel stronger, and I feel so mobile and able-bodied And I think that, you know, a lot of us that decide we want to lose weight, we want to get fitter, whatever it is, we don't think about how we feel as much as we think about numbers. It all matters.
Yeah.
All of it. Tara, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you guys having me come here and do these assessments and having these conversations, because I think anything we talk about is stuff that I want others to hear, and I know you want others to hear as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, we think you're doing great. We're excited to see your continued progress.
Thank you.
So
Thank
keep up
you.
the good work.
If you guys want to follow FieldHouse, they are on Instagram and Facebook. I know the Instagram handle is, what is it?
FieldHouse.nj, and that's both for Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, okay, great. You'll probably see lots of Tara, registered dietitian, Ryan, a personal trainer, and any events they have coming up, any fitness and nutrition tips. I would highly advise to follow them, because I follow them. I enjoy all your posts. So thank you so much, and we'll have another update at some point. So bye. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the progress I've made in 6 weeks. It is very exciting, and I'm really glad I had a roadblock, because it really does show you that life isn't perfect, and I know there's going to be a lot more roadblocks ahead. I'm actually 2 more weeks into this and I hit more roadblocks, but I will be back for more updates, of course. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any future uploads from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.